All right. How have you been?
Okay. So yeah, everything's fine here. How are you doing?
It's going pretty well.
Perfect. How was this week with chess?
It was good. Played quite a bit with Ricky. Um, he took a couple of games off me, but besides that, it's been good. I started a tactics book that's new to me, or not book, but a course on Chessable, and it's all tactics coming from the Gioco Pianissimo.
Okay.
Um, and so that's what I wanted, like tactics study that's in the structure of the of like of an opening, and I've been having some fun going through that on Chessable.
Okay, that's fine. But the name of the book, did you say it?
Yeah, it's a tactic. It's called what is it? It's not a book. It's a Chessable course, and
Ah, it's a
it's
Accessible course. Okay.
yeah, it's called Thematic Tactics: The Slow Italian Game.
Slow Italian. Yeah, that's your Benissimo. Okay.
Yeah, it's by let's see, what's the guy's name? He has a bunch. He has a bunch of these books that are all. I am Dirk Sebastian. Not familiar, but he has a couple of these books. One in the Scandi, one in the Slow Italian. But
Yeah. Yeah, I have not worked too much with Chessable, but I have read a lot of things about them. Do you like them? They're good.
yeah, I like it better for for so a lot of tactics study just on like the puzzle trainers seems so undirected. Um, and it's harder to just like I want to learn things sort of like more by theme. So there's books that I like studying from books more often. At least that's how I got pretty good in Go, rather than trying online, just studying a bunch of online games or online
Okay.
puzzle tactic solvers.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me invite you, and then we start. Let me know when
I'm in live
you're
chess.
in live chess. Okay. Okay, I see you now. Okay, so we're going to start talking about some endgame as we usually do.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, we have this position. It is white to move, and white could be winning this endgame. So do not rush. Analyze this. This is not like winning in 2 or 3 moves. This is like we need to analyze a little here.
Okay, so this looks like one of the obvious moves, but and obviously if pawn up, I get connected passers, so that it's not that move. So we have to look at moves like this for black. Um, hmm, okay. Well, that's sort of like opposition, right? So I wonder, do I take opposition here? Then if here I get opposition here, if he goes for this, I can't keep opposition because the square is covered. So I can't take right away. But then does this move work? No, that just gives him a passer. that doesn't. Yeah, that does not work at all.
Yeah, he's getting the passed pawn after d5.
Um, let's see. So the king being on the B file side of this pawn seems to be the important aspect of it. So no matter what, it's going to take the king 1, 2, 3 moves to eat this pawn. Hmm.
I can help you with some ideas in
Yeah.
this one. We have this endgame with king and 2 pawns versus king and pawn. We usually, when we are playing an endgame with 1 pawn up, I've told you this before, we should be winning. So we have the feeling that we could be winning. However, we have this pawn stopping the 2 pawns, and he has a position more or less solid. So we need to see how we could make progress. Our king is a little more active than his king. That's good. Also, one of the things I usually say to my students is that in general, pawn endgames, if you can capture one pawn, if you can take a opposition, it's going to be the right move. So if you were playing a pawn endgame and you see the possibility to take opposition, that's usually very often, like 90% maybe, the right move. So first of all, we need to analyze this king d7. The only move after king d7 is king b6.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have this situation, and do we have a way to make progress after king d7, king b6? Do not rush.
King d7, king b6. Okay, so d5 just loses immediately. I'm pretty sure. Because there's actually d5 pawn take d5 king take d5, then b5, and there's no way of protecting the b4 pawn. So that d5 does not.
Yeah, but after king d7, king b6. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm. Oh, right, yeah, of course. Then that's.
Yeah.
I was still okay. So king d7, king d6. Um. So then, I mean, king d6 makes the king move, but then why doesn't king b5 just win? Oh wait, no, I get it. So do I want to after b5? I go back to like d7 or something. I go to a square where I can still take on. Yeah, okay. So the idea is that when the black king eats, the next move white king has to capture so that black can never eat the d5 pawn. And is there any threat of repetition though? After this, let's see. Can I draw arrows?
Yes, sure. Like
Oh, it
directly,
wasn't.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. Something. So this. Oh, and is that just Zugzwang? Well, no. What happens if he goes back? That's the. Oh, if he goes back, then I play d5. Take, and he can't come forward because I guard. Here, but then that's a draw.
Exactly.
Is that
That's a
not a
draw.
draw?
Exactly. That's a draw. That's a draw.
Okay.
So let's see. King d7, king b6. You're analyzing this move, king
Mm-hmm.
d6, which is not run. It's a move we want to analyze. Then black has two options, king b7 or king b5. But king b5 is not working because then you can play king c7, pushing the. Now it's Suxuan. This is something you asked me at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Suxuan because they need to get away from his pawn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then you capture and you promote. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm. So, but the
Okay.
the d6 idea still isn't working. So then.
Yeah, but the problem is that after king d6, he can go back to b7. This is the right move. King b5 is a mistake because of king c7, Suxuan.
Okay.
But instead of going up, they can just come back to b7.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't have a clear way to make progress here. King d7 is just exactly the same position.
Mm-hmm.
King c5 is a move we can analyze, but king c7, they have a solid position there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no win here. We need to go back, and we're not making progress. So, king d7 is perfect, king b6, but the next move is not king d6.
Is king c8?
Exactly. We need to maneuver with our king because we want to push this king so we can get c7 and we can, get the pawn on c6.
After I started analyzing King D7 and then King D6, King C8 was like one of the first moves I looked at, but then I was like, no, that's silly. It can't be that.
Yeah, it's not the logical move. It's not a
Yeah.
logical move. You're separating too much from the pawns. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's right. But the idea is that you're pushing this king away, and then you will be getting the pawn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So king c8, I will play king a6. What do you play?
King A6. Then I don't know why it's not King C7 again.
King c7, perfect. King b5 is the only move.
B5. King B7.
Excellent. I'm instruction now. You need to take the pawn on b4.
Right. And then King takes C6.
King c4.
D5.
And then d5, you are winning the endgame.
Yep.
Okay. So about this endgame, one of the main things we can learn, opposition almost always is the best.
Mm-hmm.
And well, this maneuver later with the king like pushing the enemy king was also very instructive.
Does E7 immediately draw?
Well, the problem with king e7 is that then black can take opposition.
Oh, right. Okay, makes total sense.
Yeah.
No,
Like king a7, yeah, probably the best.
Okay.
Taking distant opposition. Okay. Well, let's play as white. Let's win. You play as white. Okay. Very well. Okay. Okay. White to move here.
I think it has to be. My initial instinct is E6. It blocks off all these squares and doesn't allow the king to take opposition. Then there. Well, if he runs there, is there any trouble? Is the question. Because I feel like here, this is pretty straightforward. If I take opposition, then I'm gonna be shoulder. Wait, there. This is blocked. He has to go here. He's forced to go there. I am now infiltrating. Oh no, this is gonna stalemate, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very well. King d7, you're forcing king a8. You don't have to play king there in the next. You don't have to play that.
So then I push c6.
Exactly, very well.
Okay. But so and let's see. Here is just in auto loss if they go to e7 because I've infiltrated. So I think the move is e6.
Yeah, that's right. That's the way to win.
Okay.
That's right. So you say white, I will say black. Let's see the whole line.
Okay. King e6.
King d8.
King d6.
King c8.
King e7.
King b8.
King d7.
King a8.
c6.
One takes pawn.
King takes pawn c. King takes c6.
King b8.
B7.
king a7.
King c7.
And you're winning. That's
Yeah.
very well. Also, after c6, pawn takes pawn. Instead of taking the pawn on c6, there is a line here where white plays king c7, and they're playing b7, b8, and mate here
Okay.
with queen b6.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's winning either way. Okay. Well, let's play it on the board. One more time, the same rule of opposition is usually the best. It's working here.
Okay.
This time it's not frontal opposition, it's diagonal
Mm-hmm.
opposition, but in the end, the goal here is to get regular opposition when the king moves. Here I have to take. If I don't take, you will play c7, c8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, king c7 is very strong because you have my king 3 here. Okay, perfect. So we are going to stop with endgames for today. In this position is black to move. Black is winning.
Oh, black to move. Okay.
Yeah, we need to flip. Yeah.
All right.
Let me know if you need some clue here.
I'm calculating unsound queen sacrifices. So.
Usually, something I say in lessons. If you find a defender, that's probably a weakness your opponent has. I mean, a piece defending something, that's probably something you need to pay attention to.
Yeah. So what I was looking is the fact that the queen is defending c2.
Exactly.
So I was looking at just playing just queen queen a5, and seeing what I could cook up from there. But after knight check on c2, I don't see a follow up. The rook check on d8 doesn't do much.
Exactly.
So now I'm looking for other forcing moves.
Exactly. The deflection is not really going to work this time.
The queen isn't really defending anything except for the pawn on e4.
There are some tactical themes connected to defenders, like deflection, interception, removing the defender.
Okay. don't see b5 doing anything. Oh, en passant makes that like a non-starter actually.
Yeah, also he can play queen d1 at some point.
Right.
Okay. Remember, we have been working in last lessons with interception or interference.
I'm not seeing the piece dependency that would allow for those sorts of tactics. The only things that look
The queen is defending c2 over here. So we can intercept the line so the queen does not defend anymore.
It's bishop b3.
Exactly.
And then you go up and exchange. But doesn't your knight get trapped?
Do not rush. Do not rush.
Okay.
So you see something. Is king d1 a legal move?
No, it's not. You're right. Oh, is that checkmate?
Exactly, it's checkmate. Exactly.
Right.
Checkmate.
Okay,
because the knight is not on d4.
So they lose the queen.
Yeah, basically when we play bishop here, we are threatening queen or mate. Exactly.
Okay.
The best move is probably queen takes bishop and then pawn takes knight. Get 2 pieces for the queen.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's play it. Okay. Well, we have been working with interception in last lessons, and then we're going to start working with a new tactical theme today. Of course, I'm pretty sure you have, or I think you might have studied this before or there, but I mean by yourself. But I don't think we have worked with this one here. So, for example, let's analyze this position. White plays, and white can win here.
Okay, white to play my cool. Let's... Okay, so just starting off, the fact that we're down both a pawn. I mean, we're down like what? This is down 2 points of material. They're up a pawn, and then a knight and a rook for a queen is +1 on the queen, I think. So that amount of material loss makes me think it's either winning the queen or checkmate. Or I guess that material means if I just like win the bishop cleanly, that's also a win.
Exactly.
So it could be winning a piece. It could be checkmate. It could be. Well, is 2 pawns versus knight and pawn winning?
In that position you're analyzing is going to be winning. Yeah.
Okay. So bishop to
Yeah,
rook
exactly.
is
Very well, very well.
That is
yeah,
winning?
rook takes
Okay.
bishop.
I don't think I could convert that endgame.
Yeah, it's not so easy. I mean, it's winning, but it's not clearly winning. It's winning, but it takes some work.
Okay.
We can take a quick look at that now in the next minutes. But yeah, it should be winning.
All right, so just play out the line, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but I wanted to ask you about the tactical thing. Do you have any idea about the tactics we are doing?
I mean, it's either a clearance sacrifice for a double attack or.
Exactly. That the one. That one. You are clearing the line. You see the queen and the king in the same line. You see the fork, and you say my rook is blocking. I cannot do the fork because of the rook. So you clear the line. When you want to clear, you give check, capture, or a threat.
Now, is there something
With that-
strong?
with that
Is there
piece.
anything stronger?
I don't think there is anything better than rook takes bishop here.
Okay.
Yeah, because if we play bishop c4 first, he has to check. And then he has time to defend.
And rook e8 is just not. It doesn't do anything.
Rook e8. I guess king f7 is also working. I mean, I can go here, but this is also working.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think.
then that's a loss, right? Because then it's bishop and knight, bishop and 2 pawns versus knight and 1. Oh no, because I keep the bishop. I keep the bishop, don't I?
Yeah, you mean rook here, king here?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have. I'm up a piece in that line.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the best line is definitely rook takes bishop. Yeah, let's play it if you want. So we take a look at the endgame. Yeah, the only move for black here is we're taking the pawn. The only move is d5. So we need to see how to play in this position. I think a good idea could be bring the knight over here, and then once you have the knight on d3, advancing the pawn to d3, you will be creating an interesting wall here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that could be working. We need to analyze it. I'm not sure. I have not studied this before. Okay, I'm just saying something I'm thinking in some seconds. So this idea of playing knight here, maybe d4, and I was planning this, but also maybe you can go very quickly.
Do you have to
Yeah, this is better. This is better.
really? Okay, because I was thinking, why
Yeah,
don't
this is better.
do you not want to activate your king this way ahead of your pawn, to try and like stop the king? Because then this here, the knight is forever guarding the d3 square. This pawn is never moving, and if you can get your king ahead of this pawn, then once you play pawn f4, this is never. Oh
Yeah,
no.
there might be some ways to win, but what I really thought here is that if I capture the pawn, I win immediately.
Okay.
Is what I thought, because then I have the king and the knight just to capture his pawn, and it's going to be very easy.
Okay.
So if I can get rid of this, I win immediately. And this position is just winning. Look at this. If he gets closer over here, I have a fork. I get the pawn.
Right.
So he's in a big problem because how does he get closer to my king? I'm just playing this.
You would have to go through e8.
Yeah, but e8 then what? I mean, d8 is another
right, no,
problem.
because he can't, because d7's covered.
Exactly. It's a big problem. Everything is covered. Yeah.
So then, is there? I mean,
Yeah.
is
This
there
is
anything
like
along the h file?
No, there's nothing. This is like a study. Look at this. If the king comes here, there is also check and take the pawn.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. It's like a study. Yeah, it's like a study. Yeah. So the only way I can see to go is over here, but he needs to play g5 to do that. And if he plays g5, I will play knight f3, and then I'm taking the 2 pawns.
Yeah, then you
if
get.
I get 1 pawn, then I win.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will copy the next position.
Okay.
As you can see, the endgame is winning, but it takes some analysis to make it work, but it's winning. Why to move here?
Okay. Is that just cleanly winning? I think I have it. I'm just looking for counterplay. If there's any like forcing intermediate moves.
You can get a material up here.
Yeah, it's queen a8 check. Only move is king h7. Then knight f3.
Exactly. What tactics are you using here?
A clearance check, or it's like sort of like an it's like a intermezzo that allows a fork.
Yeah, we can say it's also it's mainly a clearance. We see this idea of knight here, but the queen is there, so we want to clear f3, and we clear with a check, a capture, or a threat. This time with a check, followed by the move we set. So yeah, perfect. Yeah, we can play it.
Let's see. Is this only to go up in exchange, really? I think this is forced.
Yeah, exactly. You're taking with check, so I cannot play knight here or anything.
Oh well, I win the pawn too. No, I don't win that pawn. I take that back.
If I take with the knight, yeah, you cannot take.
Yeah, I can't take the pawn.
Well, maybe you can take it when you play h4. Then you can take it. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, why to move here?
Mate in 2, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, yeah. Rook take h7, king or knight take h7 doesn't matter. Then queen g7 mate.
What tactics?
I've seen this in my book. That's how I know it. This is this is clearance again.
Okay, very well. Yeah, we see that we have the move queen g7, the rook is there, so we need to clear g7 with a check, capture, or threat. This time we have a very good check, and then the mate. But let me ask you something. In a position like this, it is white to move. How do you win?
I'm just trying to see if it's all forced. It's this. Why isn't it the same pattern?
This is not completely forced. Actually, probably it's just getting material if black wants to avoid mate.
Really? Okay. Oh, so then is it not completely forced? So rook takes h7 doesn't work?
After knight takes?
Rook g7. Then no, this doesn't work.
Yeah, they have a move now to defend, like rook g8 maybe. So here we can have the same thought process. We can say Okay, I want to play queen g7 here, but I have two rooks in the middle, so I have to clear the lion, so I can play queen g7.
Rook
And
c.
how do we clear? With checks, captures, or threats.
Rook c5.
Exactly. Rook c5 is very strong.
It's a gross move.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. It's it feels like bullying.
Yeah. So we know we win with this.
Mm-hmm.
So all we need to do is to clear the line. So we are winning with the other idea, and then we clear with this threat.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Well, we can play it on the board. But they are not forced to capture. But if they capture,
Mate.
okay, why to move here?
Hmm. Is it queen takes f5?
What's the idea?
The idea is the square that you really want is knight to e6. You do it by sacking the queen for material, and then you double its attack with check.
Exactly. So we see that we have this knight e6 check, but the queen is there. So we need to clear this square, and when we are going to do clearance, we think of check, capture, threat. And well, the check is not working. Also, this check and capture is not working on f6.
Mm-hmm.
But this capture here is very well. It's very well because then if he takes, we are getting the queen.
So
So we are
then,
getting a knight.
what happens if bishop takes g5? Is that better? Is that better?
Okay, what happens? Bishop takes knight.
Um. Oh, queen takes bishop.
Exactly. We just take with
Right.
the queen. We get out of the threat, and we are safe here. We have a piece up.
Yeah, and there's no threat on f2 or anything.
Okay. Well, we can play it, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we are going to solve one last puzzle. This is probably one of the most interesting puzzles, interesting and famous puzzles about clearance. Black to move here. So we need to flip the board.
Oh, black to move. Okay. So white has mate in one. So that means it has to be forcing.
Exactly. White is threatening two mates in one, g7 or h7. So we're in a big problem here.
We have no dark squared bishop, so Ideas based on Queen G1 probably don't work. Hmm. Oh, is that it? Okay. Um. Well, actually, what are the threats? Why can't the king just move? So I'm looking at Queen G2, Queen take G2, King take G2, E3, Knight E3 check, and if that distracts the rook, oh no, there's two places, right? So then Queen takes G8 is still mate. So just distracting the rook doesn't get us anywhere.
So sorry, after 93, what did you say for what?
After Knight E3, rook take E3. Oh, but then oh wait, no, rook take E3 doesn't work. So the because so it would be. Let's see what happens if they go king king F2.
Yeah, the best would be just to move the king. Probably H1 is good enough, or G1.
Okay.
To avoid next checks. And then they keep the threats. So yeah, it's not going to be queen takes G2. It's not that one. I will give you a clue here. For example, why can't black capture this queen?
Because of the pin on the H7 pawn.
Exactly, because of the rook there pinning the pawn. That's my hint.
Okay. Knight H6 loses because it's still you just get mated.
There is a tactics. It's not like a general tactical thing, but I have seen it somewhere. They call it removing the piece that is pinning. As I told you, it's not like a general tactics, but at some point they use it as a category to for some positions like this one. So the idea is that we're going to remove the piece that is pinning.
I don't see a way to do that. Oh. Oh, really? Okay. So. Okay, but how do I stop Queen take G7? Because if then move Knight takes H3 needs to come with check, which it always would, wouldn't it? If the king is on H1.
Exactly, it's going to be with check. Yes.
So how do we keep the king on H1 by making sure? Okay, so Queen E1 check.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, that is interesting. All right, should we play it out?
Exactly. So Queen E1, Rook takes E1, and then what?
Rook take E1, Knight F2 check.
King U1.
Knight take H3 check, and then H take G6.
Exactly. What material did you get here?
Okay, queens are equal. You went up 2 points. It's an exchange.
The exchange up, exactly. And what tactics when you play this?
Clearance.
you're clearing f2, so you can do the other idea. Perfect. Let's play it. Okay. Well, I will copy some of the games you were playing.
Mm-hmm.
Some of this 10 minutes game are those fine? I mean,
yeah, they're
fine?
they're fine
Okay.
games.
Okay, perfect. I mean, you have one today and I think one from yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. So your opponent's white here, let's see. Okay, your opponent's playing Caro-Kann and you play this fantasy variation.
I feel like that was probably a misclick, right? He probably meant to play e5.
Well, they don't know. I don't think they know too much theory here. So yeah, e5 is one of my favorite moves.
Well, because I just figure if you're playing the Caro-Kann, you don't want to block in your bishop.
Yeah, but probably e5. I don't think it's a move they find too much
Okay.
in this level. Yeah, e5 is good because when you take his checking, right? Very well. But again, I don't think they find it so easily. So probably he just said, okay, my bishop cannot go out now. I just have to continue my development. I don't know what to do. And then he just developed. Do you see e5 very often in your games?
I just know it's the main line. So a lot of people don't play d take e, or which is like the fun variation. So it's what I tell Ricky to play.
Yeah. So yeah, they don't know too much theory. So I don't think they will play it so often this e5. Well, I don't know how the theory goes here. I don't even know if this is a theoretical position, but I guess the bishop on this is going to be very well.
Mm-hmm.
Because then when he castles, the bishop is going to be extremely powerful here.
The computer didn't really like bishop c4 all that much.
Exactly. The problem is that the bishop here is not doing too much. I mean, it's exposed. Black can threaten the bishop at some point if they want, with knight b6, with b5, and at the same time, it's not attacking anything.
Mm.
I mean, here it's not a trade you want to play. This bishop is a good piece. It's the best bishop.
Right.
You don't want to trade it here on d5.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this tree is very normal in this position. When you usually in king's pawn openings, well, also in queen's pawn. I mean, when this diagonal is open, the bishop is just perfect there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you go back. Okay, perfect. You have studied or you have heard about Greek gift sacrifices?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, this position they can happen. This structure. Yeah. You have almost everything. The problem is the bishop on e7. It's going to be covered in there so that your knight cannot go. That's the problem. I think a good idea in this position just to keep the bishop is to play bishop b4. I think we want to keep the bishop on the board.
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen here. I think you're losing one pawn. So maybe if he can actually take the pawn, okay, then bishop b2.
I was just
but again,
my whole logic after I thought he would go back to c7 with the knight, which was I think wishful thinking, but I play I decided like I'm gonna close up the position and then just like he's gonna castle king side and I'm gonna go for an attack because I got the F file open. So I tried to close up the queen side.
Okay.
And I figured
Well,
that
you can do that anyway if you want. Although we are going to talk about this idea in the next move, but you can do it anyway. But keeping the bishop is actually essential here. This knight is also in a bad position, so probably this knight will have to go back to a6. It's not going to be a good piece for black. So again, bishop e4, assuming black cannot take because it's too risky, but actually I don't think it's too risky. So probably bishop e2 is the best, and we'll keep the bishop.
Okay.
Sorry, the pawn very well protected.
And then it's still a pretty good pawn center.
Exactly, and in the next one we'll play a3, and then the bishop comes again to d3. This is perfect.
Okay.
So bishop, sorry, c5. About c5, the other problem is that look at the pawn structure. When you play c5, look at this.
Yeah, there's a big hole.
There is a big hole there in your structure. So black can use that square for the knights, and then the knights are perfect. So I don't think we need to advance. These pawns usually are very well when they are one next to the other. They cover many squares and there are no holes. Once you advance, then you are giving him good squares to move.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you are weakening the one staying behind.
Right.
Because how do you protect this one? It's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in an open file. That's another problem.
Right.
Okay, so he takes, and then knight d5, and then b6. You trade, bishop. Also, when you lose this bishop, look at this. You stay now with this bishop. Look at your pawns. They are all of them in dark squares.
Mm-hmm.
So our bishop is very bad. I mean, it's hitting all our central pawns. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, no one is covering light squares, so black can do anything they want in light squares.
Mm-hmm.
In this position, I was looking as I was talking. Probably bishop takes pawn is working, right?
Oh yeah! Wow.
Discipline. So yeah, that's another reason why c5 is not a good move.
Okay.
Okay, and then you trade, and then you defend. I mean, you play this. Interesting. I say interesting because then you're getting rid of your bad bishop,
That was the idea.
and yeah, and you're also getting rid of a good piece because then when this bishop is not here, your knight is going to be very well over dark squares.
And I figured, like, right now, it's gonna take a few moves for c6 and e6 to ever give his bishop scope.
Exactly.
So my knight would be better than his bishop for a few turns. At least.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The endgame with your minor piece would be clearly better than his minor piece. He can try something over this diagonal, maybe some a5 or something to improve a bishop. But even if he can do that, your knight is fine. Okay, I really liked this plan. That was a good plan. Yeah, excellent. He needs to castle, I think. f6 is not good. Yeah, you can take. You can play knight here, going here and here. Yeah, taking is probably very well. And then knight c7, perfect. We want to make sure he's not trapping the bishop. Sorry, the knight. So I was thinking pawn takes pawn, but yeah, rook takes pawn is also working because if he moves you're shaking. So yeah, the knight is escaping, I think. You can just capture here. This is fine. You're also opening the file for the rook. Okay, there's a mistake here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This move is very strong. Yeah. Because at this point anyone could take the pawn, but you didn't take it. You saw this, which is winning because you are getting the rook. I mean, the piece. Yeah, very well.
I thought he would resign after that.
Wait. You didn't play it. You can play skewer here.
Did I really wait a move to play the skewer? Okay.
Yeah. He can play now bishop d7. Now it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see, it's not the same. So rook here is good. You are threatening the bishop, and if the bishop moves, you're skewering, and he doesn't have a way to defend both things. But bishop here, rook here is not the same. He has a way to defend both things with bishop d7.
Was I really looking at the c5 pawn trying to win that? That seems like just silly. I should have just taken the rook.
Oh yeah, you took the pawn again. Rook here, skewer, and now you did it. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Well, about this game, let's highlight some interesting moments. For example, here, what did I tell you about bishop c4?
Oh, I'm lagging a little bit. Just one second.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean d3 is the square that it wants to be on. That's really natural in a lot of these advanced French type looking things.
Exactly. Also focus on not only on developing, also focus on trying to finding the best square for the pieces when you develop that.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I think when I just flung it out to c4, I was like, I'm just gonna castle. I'll figure out where to put my bishop later, which is.
Okay. And here, what did I tell you about this moment?
Yeah, so c5 isn't good because eventually, there's actually a couple of reasons. Uh, the d4 pawn actually isn't a protector of c5 because of the pin, um, and the bishop is just a powerful piece in this sort of position. So moving the bishop back to d2 or e2 is probably the best move here. Keep the strong pawn center.
Exactly. Also, when you play c5, you're weakening d5.
Mm-hmm.
So in general, this move we're not going to play it. And also, when you play bishop e2, you keep the bishop, which is a good piece, and you keep him with this bad piece.
Mm-hmm.
Because this knight, in the end, we have to go to a6. That's very
Right,
bad.
right, right.
Well, here I told you about this move. I really liked it. I think it's very special. I don't know if he can play something like pawn takes pawn here or something, but in general, the strategical concept you used is very well. Even when I mean you understood the position very well when you played this. So that's perfect. Yeah. Out of this, well, some mistake over there. For example, here when you play the double attack,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't play the skewer in the
Right.
end. But out of that, I think the game was very interesting. I will copy the other one.
Okay.
Okay, so this time you're playing as black. Your opponent is playing queen's pawn, but then he plays f4, which is not a normal move here. And then you play d5. Again, we can focus a little on the structure and see there is a nice weakness here on e4.
I
It's
like
not like the end.
I don't normally ever play d5 in queen's pawn positions, but his move was so weird that I just figured I have to put a pawn in the center.
Yeah, this is very well. As I told you, there is a weakness and you're trying to control it. It's not the end of the world for white, but it's usually fine for black. You played, I mean, you and him, you both played some strange setup in the center there, but in the end, you got this position. Okay, let me see. So a6, knight here, rook here, and then the knight is trapped.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Well, then you have a piece up here. Okay, e4, bishop here. Okay, this is not trump, but you can just take here, right? There's nothing wrong with this move. Everything's very well protected here, and you're getting one pawn. After this, maybe he can get one pawn, and I don't know if we want to give him extra pawns.
I don't know why I was focused on. I think do I win the c4? Oh, I know. Never mind. I was thinking I would win at the f4 pawn after g take. If he played g take f for some reason, but
Okay.
yeah, but that just he takes with the rook.
Yeah, but pawn takes pawn is a very annoying move because he's also attacking the knight,
Mm-hmm.
and he's getting one pawn. So instead of getting one pawn, you're losing one pawn with bishop g4.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pawn takes pawn is perfect here. I don't think there is any problem. In the end,
Oh
he
no,
didn't capture.
I remember what I thought there was an issue with not having my rooks connected before offering the trade.
Yeah, it could be a little annoying. Yeah, it could be a little annoying, but nothing happens in the end. So rook
Right.
takes, bishop takes, then the bishop is coming here with check. So yeah, nothing happens. You will have time to come
Yeah,
back.
yeah. There's nothing on D1 threatening. There's no threat on
Exactly.
D1. Okay, right. Because I just go back to C7 with the bishop, and it protects the D1 square. So there's no like ideas about a back rank.
Exactly. Or b6, which is even with check, getting tempos.
Right.
Okay. Well, then he has a threat here, but it's not going to work. You capture, and then you're winning here. Yeah, this is perfect, but interesting rook d3, for example, you're getting the whole rook.
Oh, right. I was just thinking I'm up just playing endgame.
Yeah, you're winning anyway. Yeah, this is perfect. Okay, yeah, you're winning anyway. Again. Well, you can play here rook e2, the bishop moves, and f2, and then he has to give you the bishop already.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, you did that. Okay. 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 That's fine. Well, Andrew, we're almost finishing here. Is there anything else you want to ask me before we finish?
No, I got no questions really today about anything specific. I'm just gonna keep plugging away at, you know, the
Yeah,
tactics and games.
exactly. Yeah, you're doing the right job. Just keep doing the same. And I don't see you're making puzzles here, but in chess.com, but you told me you're solving in some other web, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. That's perfect then. So yeah, keep working with that. And well, have a great week then, and see you next Wednesday.
You too.
Okay, thanks. Bye.